Hi, Vince and Jane here from the SEER team. Hey, we want to talk a little bit today about maybe rethinking your living arrangements. With this whole coronavirus and the disruption that it's had to our living and really to our economy, it also gives us an opportunity to maybe reprioritize and think about how we want to live.
Absolutely. There might be some things you've never thought about that you might want in your house since you spend so much time in your home. For one instance, their home office. Vince and I tend to work from home a lot,
Hmm.
and I know it's the first time for a lot of people work from home, but maybe it's something you'll be able to do in the future that's working better for you work from home. So you need like a home office space that has soundproofing.
You maybe need some area for video or for doing teleconferencing.
Yep.
As you can see, we do a lot of our video in here as well. We do all of our webcam and interaction with our clients through here. So having a well-equipped home office that's soundproof is probably something we want to think
Or
about.
maybe just away from the main living area. If the kids are
Yeah,
home or if things are going on, you want to have your home office maybe in another part of the house that you never thought about.
right.
Another thing is home gym. So Vince and I work out on a regular basis. We
Hmm.
actually go to a gym. It's been closed for 2 weeks now, so we've been working out at home. And it's just not the same working out in your unfinished basement as it would be having a nice suited gym.
Well, absolutely. Or some of the things you may want to have as part of the gym. I mean, you may want to have a TV in there, or you may have internet access in there so you can download workout routines. Some people like Peloton and Peloton's type of devices, of which they have an area where they can do their workout in, and it's conducive to that. It's well lit. It's got
Yes.
good padded floors. Maybe an area for weights.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to have an area within your home that maybe you want to dedicate to do these type of workouts, which you used to be able to do in the gym, but maybe forced to do at home.
Right, and it's not a bad thing working at home. Maybe you're finding out you're working out longer. You're actually doing it because it's just going to another part of your house to be able to do that home
Hmm.
gym. Other thing is long-term storage in your home. Do you have storage in your home? To think about with some of the things coronavirus. People were hoarding stuff. We don't hoard stuff, but I like to. We're from the Buffalo area, so we were always trained to have extra items on hand just in case you get snowed in for a few days.
That's right. So, areas where you can store dry goods or paper goods. And maybe you want to think about an area where you have a second freezer.
Yes.
So you can, store meats for a long period of time. So, we don't know what kind of disruptions we're going to have in our lives, but being prepared to be able to endure, a several week, really camping indoors type
Right.
of thing, you want to be prepared. You don't want to have to depend upon going to a store and finding out the store is out of what it is that's important to you.
Right. So, like I said, we're from the Buffalo area, so we learn at a very young age to make sure you have enough stuff to carry you through if you get snowed in or you're housebound for a while.
That's right.
Other things, repurposing rooms, maybe a playroom for the kids or an area for school needs. So, if maybe you guys have children right now, maybe you want them to have an area they can play so they're not in the main living area that you can actually. I don't know, have conversations with adults, but have all their stuff. I mean, kids have a lot of toys and apparatuses, so maybe have them in a designated area in the home.
That's right. Or a place in which if you have to have them schooled from a home,
Mm-hmm.
what kind of equipment do they need? What kind of access do they need either for internet or laptops or schoolwork or their own video conferencing that they may have to do?
Mm-hmm.
So how can you repurpose a room? And we're not saying you have to have all this in place and always is there all the time. But how can you position a room such that if in a short-term need you have to repurpose it, are you prepared to do so? Or are your housing needs such that you can create that type of space on the fly when you need it?
Right. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of children doing home arts and crafts, really
Hmm.
cute. So maybe you'll start doing more of those now. After the coronavirus is over, you'll have a little craft area.
Yep.
Then the kids can actually maybe unplug, which is always a good thing, I think, and just do the areas just have their arts and crafts.
Mhm.
So also talk about different types of properties, from a single home to a townhouse. To a condo, to apartment. So Vince and I downsized a few years ago. We went from our single home to a townhouse because it fits our lifestyle better.
But we also want to think about if you're in a situation of which you have to shelter at home, or you want to be in an environment of which maybe you're not going to be in contact with people, or we have to be isolated from people for whatever reason. Where can you best do that? Can you do that best as a single family home? You can do that as well in a townhouse. condos start getting a little more confining because now you really maybe only have 1 or 3 rooms of which you were kind of confined to, and your access is a little more limited. And so maybe you're evaluating, where I want to live now. Maybe you're an apartment dweller right now. Maybe you live in an apartment and say, you know what? I don't feel comfortable now being in a group setting like this. Maybe it's something I enjoyed in the past. Maybe it's still something I may enjoy in the future. But right now I'm reevaluating how I want to live in the event that I have to shelter in place.
Right. So also talk about location, urban versus suburban areas. So we live out in the suburbs. It's pretty convenient. It's kind of rural out here where we are.
Right.
But some people like the urban areas. They want walkability. But it depends what your lifestyle is. We've heard. We're a stay at home for 6 counties in the state of Pennsylvania. Lancaster County's right next door to us. They don't have that, because it's a little bit more rural. They can get out, do things because it's not as populated. So you have to figure out what is your comfort level of that.
And so people are reevaluating, where they want to live. If they want to live in an urban area, or whether or not they want to move out to the suburbs where they think they may have a little more privacy, security, control.
Right, absolutely. So also, what's local to your area? So we live really close to Super Walmart. It's beautiful. We can actually walk there. But pharmacies, restaurants, healthcare, so you figure out what you guys need and your needs on that. So depending on what your family has to have.
What's going to be important to you.
Right.
Okay, and in these times of which maybe you're going to reevaluate, we're going to get through all of this. We have gotten through all of this, but you start thinking about, how do I prepare for if something unexpected happens again? And how do I prepare myself, and how to prepare my family, and what adjustments maybe do I want to make in my living spaces to be able to accommodate that? Maybe you can do it in your existing home. Maybe you have to think about another place or another type of home or another location in order to do that. If you're thinking about getting a new home, whether it's resale or home construction, give us a call. Check out our blogs or our stories on our website. We're Vince and Jane from the SEER team at Keller Williams. Have a great day.